Ambassador Lisa Thompson stood frozen in the crystalline throne room of the Azurian mothership, watching the towering blue figure before her turn an even deeper shade of indigo with rage. The Queen's four eyes blazed like sapphires caught in starlight, and her delicate antennae twitched with barely contained fury. "Your Majesty, I can explain," Lisa began. But Queen Valara raised one elegant six-fingered hand to silence her. "You have insulted not only my person, but my entire lineage. Human." The Queen's voice resonated through the chamber like wind chimes in a hurricane. "To compare the royal bloodline of Azuria Prime to these diminutive fictional creatures from your primitive entertainment is beyond forgiveness." Standing beside Lisa, Captain Jenny Martinez of the Earth Defense Force shifted uncomfortably in her dress uniform. The diplomatic mission to establish trade relations with the Azurian Empire had been going perfectly, until Lisa's unfortunate slip of the tongue 30 minutes ago. It had started innocently enough. The Queen had been describing the sacred blue, coloration that marked her species' nobility, explaining how the deeper the blue, the more ancient and revered the bloodline. Lisa had nodded appreciatively, genuinely fascinated by the cultural significance. Then the Queen had mentioned how her people's small stature and communal living arrangements had been misunderstood by other species throughout history. "Oh, like Smurfs," Lisa had said without thinking, her tired brain making the connection before her diplomatic training could stop her mouth. The silence that followed had been deafening. Now, 3 hours later, the entire delegation sat in uncomfortable chairs within the ship's guest quarters, effectively under house arrest while the Azurian Council decided their fate. "This is a disaster," muttered Dr. Rebecca Foster, the mission's xenobiologist, as she paced the length of their assigned room. 6 months of preparation down the drain because of a cartoon reference. "It wasn't intentional," Lisa defended herself, though her voice lacked conviction. "I was operating on 3 hours of sleep, and the comparison just seemed so obvious." Captain Martinez consulted her datapad for the 15th time in an hour. "Command isn't responding to our communications. The Azurians have jammed our long-range eye transmitters." "They're not going to execute us over this, are they?" asked Dr. Amy Collins, the team's cultural anthropologist, her face pale with worry. Before anyone could answer, the chamber door slid open with a soft hiss. An Azurian guard, barely reaching Lisa's shoulder but imposing in ceremonial armor, gestured for them to follow. They were escorted back to the throne room where Queen Valara sat surrounded by her council of advisors. The Queen's expression had shifted from rage to something more calculating. "Humans," she began, her voice carrying across the vast space. "Your ambassador's careless words have created an unprecedented diplomatic incident. However, my advisors have reminded me that your species is new to interstellar relations." Lisa stepped forward. "Your Majesty, I take full responsibility for my thoughtless comment. If there's any way to make amends—" "There is," the Queen interrupted. "You will prove your species' worth through trial by combat." The human delegation exchanged alarmed glances. "Not physical combat," Queen Valara clarified, noting their expressions. "Mental combat, a battle of wits, problem-solving, and ingenuity. Your species claims to be innovative and resourceful. Prove it." A holographic display materialized in the center of the room, showing a complex three-dimensional puzzle composed of interlocking geometric shapes in various shades of blue. "This is the puzzle of depths," the Queen explained. "It has confounded our greatest minds for 3 centuries. The last species to attempt it took 7 days and failed. You have until sunset, approximately 4 of your hours, to solve it, or face permanent banishment from Azurian space." Lisa studied the rotating hologram, her mind racing. The puzzle appeared to be a combination of spatial reasoning, pattern recognition, and mathematical progression. Each section pulsed with different rhythms, suggesting some kind of temporal component. "May I consult with my team?" Lisa asked. The Queen nodded regally. The humans huddled together, whispering frantically. Dr. Foster analyzed the mathematical sequences while Dr. Collins identified cultural symbols embedded in the design. Captain Martinez calculated the rotation patterns and Lisa tried to see the big picture. It's not just a puzzle, Dr. Collins realized. It's a test of understanding Azurian culture. Look at the symbols. They represent their core values: harmony, patience, and community. The rotation speeds correspond to their lunar cycles, Captain Martinez added. 13 different periods, matching their home system's moons. Dr. Foster nodded excitedly, and the color gradations follow the Fibonacci sequence, but modified for their base 13 mathematical system. Lisa felt pieces clicking into place in her mind. It's not about solving it faster than anyone else. It's about understanding their perspective. For the next 3 hours, the team worked in perfect synchronization. Lisa manipulated the holographic interface while the others fed her insights about timing, cultural significance, and mathematical relationships. They approached the puzzle not as conquerors trying to break it, but as students trying to understand it. As the artificial sunset began to paint the chamber walls in shades of amber, Lisa made the final adjustment. The puzzle pieces aligned, with a harmonious musical tone, and the entire structure dissolved into a shower of golden light. Queen Valara rose from her throne, and for the first time since the incident, she smiled. "Impressive," she admitted. "In 4 hours you have demonstrated what our people have struggled with for centuries. That understanding comes not from imposing your own perspective, but from embracing another's." Lisa bowed deeply. "Your Majesty, I hope this proves that humans, despite our occasional cultural missteps, are capable of growth and understanding." The Queen descended from her throne, approaching Lisa directly. "Your species interests me, Ambassador Thompson. You solve problems not through force or cunning, but through cooperation and adaptation. Perhaps there is wisdom in your irreverence. After all, does this mean you'll consider trade relations?" Captain Martinez asked hopefully. Queen Valara's laugh tinkled like crystal bells. "More than consider. Any species that can turn an insult into an opportunity for growth deserves respect. However," she fixed Lisa with a stern look, "no more cartoon references during formal ceremonies." Lisa grinned. "I promise, Your Majesty. Though I have to ask, have you ever actually seen the Smurfs?" The Queen's 4 eyes sparkled with unexpected mirth. "Perhaps you could arrange a cultural exchange. I find myself curious about these fictional creatures that apparently resemble royalty." And so began the most unusual friendship in galactic diplomatic history.